I'm Chip Townsend, and this is the Team Chip Podcast. All right, guys, welcome back to the Team Chip Podcast. I am back, and I brought my boss today. How's it going, Glyn?
It's great.
Good. All right, so we have Miss Glyn here. She is masterful at the events. This is going to be part 3 of engaging your parents. This event, more specifically. And if you haven't listened to them, go back and listen to part 1 and part 2. Part 1, I talked about why the event matters and why it works. Talked about some goal setting, prepping your team, pre-promoting the event. Part 2, I dug into a little more granular, the operation and flow of the class and how to make the event work well. What event am I talking about?
Mom's on the mat.
Mom's on the mat and dad's on the mat.
And it is dad's on the mat, too.
I noticed you jumped right on the mom's part.
Well, duh.
Duh. Moms and dads on the mat. These are great events for culture building, for tightening bonds. I believe, and I've said it, I'm going to say it again and again and again, that a big problem in our society today and in our world is the nuclear home is just crashing. Yep. We need moms and dads that are together, that are raising their kids, that are connected. And this is a way as the martial arts industry that we can help feed that at least some and tighten some of those connections and give them a connecting ground. I've said it multiple times, but the mat is a universal connector. Right?
Absolutely. We have a 17-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of things that we necessarily do physically together, because it's either like I'm watching him or he's having to slow down for me. But martial arts is something that we can do together.
Absolutely.
And,
love it. So today we're going to talk about, again, I kind of ran through what the first 2 episodes were about. We're going to run through kind of the post-event engagement and things you can kind of do post-event to make it work. Now, in episode 2, I alluded to this. I'd like for Glyn to speak to it a little more, but we talked about in the welcome to that day on the mat, having your lobby set up and having like a photo op and some things like that. So, we encourage our families, hey, check in and make sure you post a picture and tag us and things like that, right? But will you talk real quick about, because you're the queen you're masterful at making it welcoming and the balloon backdrops and things like that. So talk about that a little bit.
The big thing is we try to make it, we talk about it, have talked about it in different events, but we just try to make it so that it's something special.
Right.
So that it's something that is take a picture worthy. Yes, they are getting to do class together, and that is, but we also want to have that photo op moment where if they're both on the mat and there's not necessarily somebody that's there to take pictures, well, then they don't really get to take that picture, but something that is just a memento, something that they have to commemorate that memory that they've gotten to do. And yes, they do leave with their belt, and they do have all of those things, but it's just something and then it's really fun whenever you've done it for multiple years and you have the moms that will go, year 1, year 2, year 3, and you see how that child is grown and then not only physically grown, but you see this little reserved child in the first one, and then they're standing a little taller, and then all of a sudden they've got this huge smile on year 3, and you see that confidence how that has grown as well. And it's that the whole picture is worth 1,000 words, right? Absolutely.
What rings in my head is them by their fruit, and you see the fruit maturing. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, powerful.
Absolutely. And so so then we try also to not make it so that it's just a copy paste. We try to make every year unique. And so every year we've done it. One year it was close to May let me think what it was. It was really close. It was close to Cinco de Mayo. So we did like a fiesta theme, and we've done all kinds of stuff. But the other thing is it makes it fun for us too.
The instructors are partying, especially if it's close to like May 4th, and it's like May the 4th be with you kind of thing.
We've done all kinds of stuff.
So we do a little bit of a, Star Wars theme or something like that, right?
Yes,
yeah. It was super cool. Well, let's dive in a little bit about post-event engagement. Post photos, obviously, these are super obvious things, but just kind of edifying for you. Post photos, videos on social media, etc. And I did talk about in episode 2, we have a new policy where we don't post kids' faces. We do the best we can to keep their faces out because, with AI and the things that are going on now, we try to be cautious with that. And, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So, one of the things that we have learned with our events is instead of just the event is over and it's like, the balloons are big and then the balloons deflate and it's over. And it's like, well, all of that was for, and so we try to really extend the excitement because and as much as anything, yes, it extends that exposure for you. Absolutely. But it also just keeps in the forefront of the mom's and the kids' mind how much fun that was. It's very intentional in that it's not just let it be just a flash pan. Because I think so much of what we do on the daily is we go from this task to this task to this task. And we can't even remember what we did first thing in the morning because it's just checking the box. And we don't want our events to feel like a box check. Okay,
Absolutely.
I did that and I'm done. So we send out we have little things that we will give them at the door. They've earned their belt or they'll earn a stripe. If they've done a second year, they'll take their pictures. But then we also do some sort of sometimes we do VIP passes. We've done that before. Sometimes we don't do it. That's the other thing. And I've said it before. We don't do the same thing every single year. Sometimes one year we did chapstick and it said, "You're the bomb." The BALLM. BALM. I couldn't spell it. You're not the bomb, but the balm. We've done the little bath bombs. We've done those. We've done just all kinds of stuff that we do. We'll do some chocolate or, just a flower, a rose. We do things that are, something that the mom would enjoy, not something that they're going to go, "Oh, here, you take this," and they don't want it. We do something that they're going to enjoy. But also, we are aware of costs, and so we don't get too extravagant, but just something that they leave with, right?
Absolutely.
And so we do that. So there's something that they leave with. And then leading up to it, and I don't know if Chip mentioned this before, but we will also do some years we've done a special, a short run of a special shirt that's not necessarily geared towards moms on the mat, but is a very feminine. And then we'll do the same thing with it was just a Team Chip Dad, and it had Team Chip Dad, and it just said it over and over and over and over, but it was just in different typefaces, and not necessarily that they have to wear that, but they want to wear that.
Right.
And we've done that with the mom shirts and with the dad shirts, just something that they could wear year round.
Absolutely.
Right. And then we do an actual thank you note, and not a generic thank you, but something that the instructors sign. As a matter of fact, just the other day, there is a school that Chip has talked about for years, and we got a handwritten thank you note from them. And I thought, this is why this school is still around.
Absolutely.
And it's because handwritten thank yous are so rare. And just that extra human touch that, especially now that you're not even sure whenever you're messaging people, if you're actually messaging a human or if you're messaging a chatbot or an AI. And so whenever okay, think about how many times you've gotten letters in the mail that are printed to look like they're handwritten. That's because people know handwritten
matters.
It just changes that whole, that there was a person that took time to make that happen. So we do that. And then one of the things that we're doing this year, this is new. So this is a new rollout. We're going to have a trophy for the moms or the dads, whoever has the most participation.
Right.
So there is going to be, who gets to have the trophy, the moms or the dads. And it's absolutely in fun.
All
because
in fun.
Really, who's the winner? The kids are the winners.
Right. Well, and I've talked about this in previous episodes, but, we make it kind of a happy, fun competition. Hey, moms is on the mat is coming up. Can the moms be, can we get more moms on the mat than dads, And then whenever, of course, dads have the advantage because they come second. But here's the reality. Dads have only won, I think, once in all the years we've done this.
Yeah. It's usually the moms.
And to me, in my heart of hearts, that's just, in no offense to real dads out there, but there's a problem with dadding, right? Dads need to step up and be dads, right?
Come on.
But also men, men and their ego not wanting to get on the mat too is a problem.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's that
this is about your kids, not about you.
I don't want to look funny. I don't want to, and you know what the thing is? once people understand that everybody that is around them is having that same thought, but the only person that's actually watching you is right across from you, and they think you're amazing.
They think you're the best thing.
They think they
ever.
are so excited to do class with you. I mean, like teary excited to do. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Nobody's actually paying attention to what you're doing.
Right.
Or the fact that those shorts are a little tighter than they used to be. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
That's awesome. So, guys, post-event engagement, this is obvious stuff. Post videos, post, pictures. Tag the parents, if you're connected to them, and most of the time we are, a lot of times, take the time to tag the parents, thank them publicly through social media, things like that. Share some little highlight reels and videos on your social media as well. After the fact, create a recap video, just like a little flashes of the different, the different classes that happen through the day or different activities that happen through the day, some sort of recap video that kind of keeps it alive, like you said, for a little bit longer and keeps the excitement going and creates memories. And if your parents are in the class operating, they're not getting a chance to get that stuff themselves. Right. So they're excited to see that and then potentially share it as well, which is really good.
Well, and we even have from different events, we'll take the images that we get and then put them up on our TV that's in the lobby and put them up. And, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then you get the parents that come in and go, oh, I missed it this year. And they see the pictures and they're like, I am not going to miss it next time.
Well, they'll come in and they're like, little Susie is so mad at me that we did not make it to this. It's like, it's okay. There'll be another one. It's totally fine.
Absolutely. Another nugget I think that's important is collect feedback.
Yeah.
After the fact, send a survey out to the parents. How did you feel? What did you get from it? And was there anything we could do better for you next time? Things like that. But ask questions, collect some testimonial, potential testimonial videos, pictures, things out of these events. That's very helpful as well. And another way that you can kind of maximize the effectiveness of the event, for lack of better words. And don't forget to some sort of follow-up offers. Sometimes, I'm always amazed, I walk through and parents, you can just see them leaning towards the mat. Like, they want to get out there and be a part of it. They want to try it. And these are such a good opportunity for them to take that first step in a kind of controlled fashion and ease out there and kind of do it a little bit. And then don't forget to offer them something special after the fact, right?
Yeah. So, like I said, in the past, we've done VIP passes where it's like a full month. We've done, any moms we've done moms free for a full month of May. We've done dads free for June, where Father's Day falls. And so we've done different things. And I think the point is it is that changing it every year. So it's not just an expected, okay, every year they're going to do this, because the first year you have, great turnout, great participation, and then the next year it dwindles off, and then it dwindles off, and then you stop doing it. Instead of going, okay, well, let's change it up and let's do this year. Yeah, make it fresh. It's that, it's that exact same concept that we have with the demo team. That remember the feeling, the keeping it new, and that idea is, you come up onto an event and that there's like a lot of preparation that's going to go into it. But you did it last year and you remember how it felt stepping off the stage and feeling that I was prepared, I was ready, and man, it felt good to shine. Not in a prideful way, but just like I didn't come off going, oh God, that was awful. You don't, that, we've all had those feelings, but whenever you leave and that you did your absolute best, well, it's the same idea with this. It's just that keeping that newness and remembering how great it felt, those 2 weeks, the months after, whenever it's like, oh, that was still
at the dinner table, you're still hearing stories about,
hearing stories about it. And that is what fuels us to make it special and unique and a memory for our students.
Well, I think as martial arts school owners, it's such a unique opportunity for us. Again, I'm going to beat this drum to help families connect in a healthy way and find a common ground and connection. It's more than just a class. It's more than just an event. It is connection. It's the way we're connecting them. It's a chance to get the parents to step into the kids' world a little bit, right? and, help them to see, like I said, I've said in episodes before, but one of my favorite comments ever is after they walk out going, I had no idea my kid worked that hard, or I had no idea my kid could kick that hard,
Right.
or I had no idea my kid was that, sharp at whatever, because you got out there and tried it and went, okay, this is harder than what it looks like backseat driving from the bench over there, right?
That's right.
Yeah. And so it's just such a unique opportunity for us as instructors and martial arts school owners, the parents getting to kind of witness in person that discipline and effort and the joy of success. Like, I got my 10 done good and it felt so good to make that work, right?
Yeah.
So these shared moments that we have the gift, that God gives us the gift to give away, deepen the trust, the relations, the trust for your school, the trust between the parents. It just kind of tightens everything. I know I've beat that drum a lot in all 3 of these episodes, but it is just that important. And I think, too, if I could encourage you again, if you haven't listened to part 1 and 2, just imagine how powerful it would be if in a few years we had every martial arts school across the nation doing a moms in May and a dads in June, and we could tally that up and go, we had 50,000 moms on the mat in May in 2027 doing martial arts with their kids.
Yeah.
How awesome is that? So anyway, any final thoughts from you, Ms. Glyn, on things to do in the follow-up and keeping the event alive for a little longer?
I don't think so. I think that there's not necessarily one thing or even a list. The list is a suggestion, and you may come up with things that you go, for our people, we should do whatever. And the thing is, do it. If you feel like I want to reach out with a letter or with a whatever that is,
right,
just do it. Because extending that excitement is really kind of where it is to make it so that it's not, because just think about how many things that you've probably done today that you actually are having to think back to. Now, what was that? Because our lives are about checking the box and getting the thing done and moving to the next thing. Our calendars are like, move to the next thing in the day instead of actually taking a breath and going, that was fun. That was fun.
Well, one of our rallying cries is functional martial arts. We want to teach real stuff to the best of our ability and create an experience second to none that they can get nowhere else.
Right.
And this is one of those opportunities.
This is one of those ways that you can make it a special, it's like, what do balloons have to do with martial arts? Absolutely nothing, but they have a lot to do with the experience.
The experience after the fact, and the memory that 20 years later, they'll look back at that picture and go, you remember that day? Oh, yeah. What a great time, right? All right, guys, go to thechiptownsend.com, my website, Team Chip Curriculum Solutions. There's going to be a link to a free ebook in the description to the podcast here. Grab that. The free ebook is of thorough run through of how to run and operate Moms on the Mat, Dads on the Mat event and make it successful. We've been doing these things for years, and I haven't said this in any of the other episodes, but we're having 100 plus moms show up in a day, 100 plus dads show up at one location, right?
Oh, parking is insane.
Yeah.
We have families that not just that like 6 people come in because they want to watch the mom doing class with her kids.
Right.
We have moms that wear babies. They're doing class with their 2 kids and they're wearing one.
Right.
And I mean, it's just awesome. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
And they've got another one that's in a stroller that they're rolling in. It's amazing.
And we're patient with that. We're graceful with it because it's a special day, creating a special experience. The other thing is the part of the reason we're saying that is because our first ones weren't 100 moms and 100 plus dads.
They weren't.
Our first ones were like 10 moms and 10 dads.
Yeah.
And then eventually it grew. So be patient with it. Stay consistent with it. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like it, love it, share it. Give us a good review. Let us know what we can do for you and what you'd like to hear from us. And I thank you for being on with me today.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll catch you guys on the next round. Thank you for tuning into the Team Chip Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget, subscribe, share, and or leave a review because we need you. We appreciate you so much. And without you, we can't make this happen. Remember, consistency is the key to success. So go out there and never be outworked.